Chapter 9. Location. "I should have realized," Obade said, "that your arrivals when I saw you talking to that ghost boy. He hangs around, stealing, looking for strangers. But so far we've managed to get rid of him before he does anything terrible. You don't want to make it into his phone book." "What?" said Xana. "In Wraithtown," said Obade. "They keep a list of all the dead, on both sides of the odd." "Our phones don't work," Deba said. "They're bust." "You have phones? What in the Ab-City for? It's too hard to train the insects. As far as I know, there are about 3 working phones in London, each with a very carefully maintained hive, and all of them in Mr. Speaker's talk lens." "No wonder you're confused. When did you get here? You must have been briefed." "No, not briefed." He frowned. "Maybe the profs are planning on explaining details later." "What profs?" Deba said. "And here we are," said Obade, waving at his stall. Obade's assistants looked up from their stitching. 1 or 2 had a few needles and pins wedged into their heads, in among pleats and ponytails. At the rear of the stall sat a figure writing at a huge sheet of paper. Where its head should be was a big glass jar full of black ink, into which it dipped its pen. "Simon Atramenti," Obade said. The inkwell-headed person waved with stained fingers and returned to its writing. "For clients who insist on bespoke copy." The stall looked as if it was only about 6 feet deep, but when Obade swept aside a curtain at the back, there was a much larger tent room beyond. It was silk-lined. There were tables and chairs, a cabinet and a stove, hammocks hanging from the ceiling. Plump pillows were everywhere. "Just my little office, Obade said, sweeping off dust. "This is amazing," said Xana. "You'd never know this was here." "How come there's space?" said Deba. "I beg your pardon?" Obade said. "Oh, well, I stitched it myself. After all my years, I'd be embarrassed if I hadn't learned to stitch a few wrinkles in space." He looked expectant. He waited. Eventually, Xana said, "That's brilliant." Obade smiled, satisfied. "No, it's nothing," he said, waving his hands. "Really, you embarrass me." He picked things up and put them down, packing and unpacking a bag, talking all the time, a stream of odd phrases and non sequiturs so incomprehensible that they quickly stopped hearing it, except as a sort of amiable buzzing. "We have to go home," Xana said, interrupting Obade's spiel. Obade frowned, not unkindly. "Home? But you have things to do, Schwazi." "Please don't call me that. I'm Xana, and we really do have to go." "We have to get back," said Deba. The little milk carton whined air at her miserable voice. "If you say so. But I'm afraid I have no idea how to get you back to what's it called? To Lun Dun." Xana and Deba stared at each other. Seeing their faces, Obade continued quickly. But, don't worry," he said. "The Profiteers'll know what to do. We have to get you to them. They'll help you back after you've done what's needed." "Profiteers?" said Xana. "Let's go, then." "Of course. We're just waiting for school with the necessary information. Traveling across on London, well, it's quite a thing to take on." He disappeared behind a screen and flung his paper and print clothes off one by one over the top. "Moby Dick," he said. "Even with small print, I have to wear too many undershirts." He emerged in a new suit of the same cut, but adorned with visibly larger letters. The other side of the mountain. He smiled, flashing his cuff. Considerably shorter. Zan, said Deba urgently, I want to go home. Mr. Fing, please, Zana said. You really have to help us get out of here. Obade Fing looked miserable. I simply don't know how, he said at last. I don't know how you got here. I don't know where you live. There are plenty of people who don't believe in Lun Dun at all. I'm truly sorry, Schwazi. Zana, all I can do is take you to those who can help, as fast as we can. Believe me, I want you to get started ASAP. Get started, said Zana. With what? Said Deba. The professors will explain, Obade said. No, shouted Zana. Get started with what? Well, said Obade hurriedly, with everything. We have to get you out of here. There are those working against you, working for your enemy. My enemy, said Zana. Who's my enemy? Before Obade could respond, the curtain was pulled back and there stood School, the figure in the diving suit, tapping its wrist urgently. Now? Obade said. Already? Right, we're coming. Off we go. He grabbed a few more things, hauled his bag over his shoulder, and ushered everyone out. Who? Zana said. What? Oh, honestly, Schwazi, it's really best you let those who know these things explain. What enemy? The two girls stared at Obade, and he faltered, and was momentarily still. Smog, he whispered. Then he cleared his throat and walked hurriedly on.